Hey, we're live. It's exciting.
It's always good to get together with you guys when it's live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also when it's not, but
yeah, I mean, and we'll see what the viewership is tonight. But we're competing with the Bourbon Junkies, and they had like 600 people watching their stream. So if we get 5, I think I would be happy.
come on,
But we're doing
better than Bourbon Junkies.
Do not start a war. We cannot win. We are not even David in this example. We are bacteria.
Hey,
Protoplasmic
bacteria can bring down the biggest things, the biggest animals.
Yeah, if we were fungi,
we're brain eating
Last of
amoebas.
Us. Okay, we'll go Last of Us. Like I don't know. Anyway,
the fungus.
Yeah. So Brian couldn't join us, unfortunately, but good news. He'll be back next month.
Hey.
For a live stream.
Coming soon to a Power Bourbon episode near you.
We may have to go kidnap him, but it will happen. We're excited.
He won't be. We don't have to refer to him as doctor yet, right? That's
nope.
Coming maybe May.
Not until I see him on the live stream with the push pin hat do I refer to him as Dr. Nugenbauger or whatever it is. I don't know. Can't say that. Big words. So
I'm excited for tonight. Usually I'm the expert in most things that we talk about.
Yeah.
I'm not the expert tonight.
Nope.
So I'm just going to sit back and let everybody else talk, and I'll probably listen.
Well, wouldn't just be me.
Nope. No. But yes, Heather is much more the expert than either of us most nights because her palate is phenomenal. But we've had these guys around since the beginning. And so it was time to feature them in an expert panel. So we are bringing both Eds on because we are going to do a Booker's bracket to celebrate March Madness.
And I don't know, we need a bracket to decide who's the bigger Booker's fan. Is it Ed or Ed?
I say
the answer is Ed.
Like 2 choices for what wins, and whoever gets the most closest.
You could do like the
Booker's King.
A trivia challenge we could come up with.
Booker's King. You need to 3D print a crown for this. The Booker's King. I like this.
I can do it. I got a really big 3D printer. I can handle that. Because their heads are really big when it comes to Bookers.
The Eds.
If you can
welcome.
Print a Mandalorian helmet, you can print a crown.
Yeah.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers. So what we decided to do is, if you've been around the channel for a while, Chuck and I kind of like sports a little bit. Probably not as much this year because that stinking Purdue team is good and Illinois is a little shaky, but
we've had like 5 wins against ranked teams.
I'm not talking about that game.
Oh, I love it.
They play again. What is it? Sundays or Saturday? Saturday at 7:30 again. Yeah. So maybe Purdue can get a win this time. Who knows?
They can't beat Northwestern. So
yeah. Well, that's all right.
Neither can Indiana, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And if it's an unranked team, Illinois is just like, we're supposed to lose, right? Is that how this works? Like, we don't understand. So, yeah. But that being said, March, it's trademarked, but I don't know. We're poor. They can't really take money from us if they sue us. So we do March Madness brackets, but in bourbon style. And so we figured this year it would be fun to put every bottle of Booker's we have up and see what is the best Booker's out there. So I think it'll be fun.
So do you know how many total that is?
I know how many we have, and then we're going to have to see how many these guys have. And Ed Bill still can't hear us for some reason.
Hello, Ed.
Products are second rate. Nope, he doesn't have audio.
he definitely can't hear you.
What a good old Paul say here. Even though, thank God Heather is here to be the tiebreaker, but most importantly, keep the show classy. Of course.
I try.
Yes. Yeah, we always bring her in for tiebreakers. Very important. But yeah, so we wanted to see what all bookers we have. So I recorded the bookers that we have here, which we have all of the 2022s, including the barrel and boxed edition, which I know nobody else has. And then all the 2021s, and then 2020 03 and 2017 03 are all the ones that we have. Now, what all the names are of those, I do not know, but we will see.
So I have from 2020
Okay.
through current, all of them.
Okay.
So I have the three COVID batches, which is 2020 because they only did 3, and then the 4 in 2021 and the 4 in 2022. So that's 4, 8. That's 11, right?
Yeah. So you got 2020-01, 2020-02, 2020-03,
Yep.
and then the 4 2021s and the 4 2022s.
Right. And then I have 2019-01, and then the international, which is a 2015, I believe.
Right.
So I have 13 total. Ed
How
Bell,
about now, Ed?
hear us.
Hey, I can hear you this time.
Hey.
You just needed to be on the other side of me on your good ear, right? Is that what
Right,
it is?
right.
Yeah. All right.
It's not Chuck having technical difficulties tonight.
Right? No kidding. So I just named off all the bookers I had, Ed. Your turn.
So what we have is 2020-01 all the way through 2022. So you got anything else?
I have a 2019-04. I think that's kitchen table. That's my
Okay.
old. I have that through 2022-04.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I do have a Rogue 2018-04, which is kitchen table, and I don't know. I think I have a vertical going back to 2019.
Okay. So if we go 16, then that takes us from 2022-04 all the way to 2019-02. So we are good with all the 2022s, all the 2021s, all the 2020s. And then Ed said he had a 2019-01. I have a 2017-03.
I'm sorry. I have everything back to 2019-04.
Okay, yeah, but Sturger, you have a 2019-01, right?
1, I believe it is.
Right. And Bell, you have an 04.
Yep.
So,
I don't
yeah.
think I have enough of the 2018-04 for everyone to get
Right.
the example.
No. But you have a 2019-04?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so the 2019-04 gives us 16. If Ed has enough international that he wants to share.
Ooh.
I'm okay.
For the bracket, of course.
Okay.
Let me look. I'm sure I do.
Because that puts us at 16.
Okay.
Say, that's yours. I remember. Our international is a lot lower than that one.
Yeah. Granted, they won't be full 2-ounce samples, but they'll
Right.
be enough to taste it.
Yeah. Hey, Eric.
So,
Thanks for joining, my friend. Yeah, so we can do all of that. And I think that covers us. So there we go.
so does that include the special box that you have?
Yeah, barrel and box. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
barrel box. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we'll send everybody 2-ounce samples of that.
Nice.
All right. So now the question becomes, do we want to actually try to rank these, or do we want to random draw them?
Random. That's my
Yeah, I would random draw.
100% random.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how you would even begin to try to strategically pair and rank them.
Exactly.
I thought you
I
guys
mean-
would have this all, worked out, which is your favorite,
Oh, I know.
Oh, isn't that the
No-
point of
nose
this?
palate,
Oh,
finish ratings. Is
I-
that only me that does that for like my barrel collection? Or
Yeah.
yes.
I think there's one that doesn't pass the Sesame Street test of which of these isn't like the others, and I don't know how it's standalone. It's wonderful whiskey, but next to all the other Bookers, I don't know how it's going to turn out. And for me, that's the Bardstown batch.
That agreed. I did it in I think it was a 5-bottle blind, and finished second. At Granny's batch won, which was shocking to me, but Granny's batch is pretty freaking solid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Every year, I love blinding off all the Booker's batches because I'm like, this is exactly what's going to win. And then you do it blind, and I think it was the year with was it No Strangers batch,
Yeah.
and it like came out really well, and I was like, how the heck did this happen? Like, by itself, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I remember you guys saying that, and you saying that. I think Heather ranked it number 1, or you ranked it number 1, TJ.
It might have been me.
Yeah.
I think, and then I drank it. And I'm like, wait a minute, Heather's palate's really good. What happened? But then I went back and put it in a blind with 3 others, and it is freaking amazing. It's really good.
I know.
Yeah.
They're all just so unique. Plus, they're spaced out enough that honestly, I cannot remember what some of the older ones taste like. Like all I can remember is this year's and the ones that I liked this year. And I really like the lumberjack.
Mm-hmm.
I forget
Tag
whatever
along?
the 4th one.
Oh,
Yeah, that one's really good. I know.
tag along.
I don't know how I would
Yeah.
pick
So
a favorite.
naturally, to be incredibly mean tonight,
What do you-
to my wife, I gave her 3 Bookers or 3 samples.
And you're not going to
blind.
tell me what these are?
Yeah. I have to catch myself. They may all 3 be Bookers. There might be a wild card in there just to see.
You're cheating.
Oh,
Not
What?
fair.
have you watched the recent celebrity bourbon video? I cheat.
There better not be a celebrity bourbon in here.
Oh, there is. No, there's no celebrity bourbon in there.
I've been tortured enough already.
They're all celebrity bourbons because they're by the Beams, and according to TJ,
Oh, yeah.
the Beams are freaking
Right.
celebrities.
Yep, exactly. Well, to be fair, the Booker's is not done on No's personal private still that they did how many $1 million expansion just so he can tinker around and have fun. If that's not the definition of a celebrity, I don't know what is. So, just saying.
Different kind of celebrity.
Yes. Oh, there we go.
If there's a statue of you in a rocking chair with your dog outside of the distillery, you're probably a celebrity.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
thought you were about to tell us a Jeff Foxworthy joke. You might be a redneck if you.
Eric, that's a solid pour right there.
Mm-hmm. That, sir, is a lucky man. My bottle is back there. It's so sad every time I look at it and see it going down.
That's your last bottle.
No, I got 2 more in the
Oh.
closet.
Oh man.
So I guess we can start out there. So some people might not
Yes, it
know
is, Paul. Yes, it is.
About he made Hardin's Creek on his little private still. That's why they made it.
TJ,
for
stay
him.
focused. You're distracted.
Bookers.
Yeah, so some people might not know about the history of Booker's. It is probably one of the more controversial bourbons out there, which
Controversial.
makes it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it used to be what these guys will know because they remember writing on stone tablets back in the day. But I think it started out about like $60 a bottle.
50.
50. Holy cow.
$49.95 was the first price I remember Booker's being, and that was holy hell.
And now you're like, I wish I would have bought a ball.
Oh God, no joke. And when I first drank Booker's, which I think that was 2006,
Whoa.
2005, 2006. But when I first drank Booker's, we were drinking it straight out of the bottle, hitting it like we were college people. Because one of my best friends, who's a fly fishing guide, he got a bottle as a tip.
Oh,
And so
okay.
he was grilling up steaks, and he says, "Look, I got this Booker's," and I'm like, "Let's drink it," like this.
Oof.
And I cry every time I think of that. And I'm like, "Oh, why?"
You didn't know what you had.
And that was
I had
back
no
probably.
idea. And God, I'd love to go back to that bottle. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I would say that
Julie-
might have been back when Booker was actually picking them too.
Probably, well,
He
05,
passed away
yeah, I
in
think
05.
Yeah.
Or was it 05?
So yes, so for those of you that don't know, the original Booker was a little bit like what is his name, Mr. Fitzgerald. They back in the day would just go into the Rick house and pour some bourbon for themselves and take it home because, I mean, why not? It's your distillate. It's your baby. You're doing testing, quality control, and so he believed the middle of the Rick house was the best place to pull everything, and he liked barrel strength bourbon, so that's what he did. And then as things developed, people were like, "Hey, why are we not bottling what this guy likes to drink? Because that probably makes a lot of sense." And so that is where Booker's started. So it's not, yeah.
Didn't you start bottling it for really, really, really small scale in the wine bottles? That's just what they had on hand in Bardstown.
Yeah.
And it was
And he would,
distributors, the salespeople. It wasn't
and yeah,
a commercial product.
right.
yeah, yeah. And he would give it to family friends when you
And
come over.
Right. I think he first, I could be wrong, but I think he started doing it around Thanksgiving back in 82 or something, I think. And Ed, he had like wine bottles and he just batched it and handed it out. And that was it.
I mean, this was back when nobody liked bourbon. And so
right.
even like the Van Winkles were going under and just barely, like they would be giving people pappy, like, please, feature us in a magazine, do something with us. Right. And people are just like, no, like nobody likes brown liquor. Like we're not going to do that. So yeah, so it was like family stuff and everything like that. And so it finally started to catch on and they started distributing it. But it is not single barrel. So you do have to be careful of that. It is a small batch. So that means they take a couple barrels and batch it together from the center of the Rick house. And usually it's between 6 and 8 years old. And it comes in at barrel proof. So it's usually like 120s to high 130s, maybe 140 every now and then is where it
I
think the typical it's 121 to 130.
Okay.
Yeah, so the highest I think I've seen is 128, honestly.
Okay.
I think.
So so we go all around there for all the stuff. The reason it's so controversial is because it originally started, like they're saying, at the $50 price range, and now
we're saying the controversy is related to price.
Yeah, that's where people are.
That's where
it was first released in 1988.
TJ, I think
and you're saying the price increased?
Well,
and that makes it controversial.
But if you follow comments, people lose their mind that it's $90 now. They're just, I mean, they cuss the blue streak. I'm with you, Chuck. They cuss the blue streak. And I want to say, show me where you can find barrel strength bourbon outside of Elijah Craig that's under $80. Just find me a bottle and I'll be like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But
what
even
say, Bell?
What's that?
I think YouTube has had a role in making Booker's as it is, because there, if we think about the big three as far as like the cycle releases every year, the Larceny, the Elijah Craig, and the Bookers, there's been sort of a gamification, like we're going to do with our bracket. But for years, people have been doing, I have the 2020-01. Let's compare it to the 3 or 4 before it, and that's kind of become a mandatory YouTube video with like 5 or 6 channels.
Yeah,
and there's almost a compulsion to gripe about the lack of an age statement. I think that's the other big controversial thing, because people have this image that bourbon should be $10 a year.
Yeah,
we don't know how old it is, and so people assume it's like 6 or 7. Therefore, they put the brakes on at 60 or 70.
Yeah.
I mean, they
and
do
to be-
list the blends, right? They tell you, or at least the youngest in the batch.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, I got the card here.
On the card, usually it's like 5 barrels. They tell you exactly where they were housed in warehouses.
Yeah, they just tell you where they come from, but not the age. And so they're only going to name by law the youngest that's in it. So
If you
I
look,
mean, go ahead.
oh, if you look at the back of the card, at least on the Bardstown batch,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you all the rick houses and it gives
Yep.
you the story, and then it tells you, but it doesn't tell you age of each one of them.
So it only gives you one age statement.
Right. So for instance, this one it's 6 years, 5 months. And I think the oldest I've seen is pushing 8 years on this year's Kentucky. I think it's Kentucky tea.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I find me a better 7-year bourbon.
So I guess the question would be, would they be better off just dropping the age statement altogether?
I think it depends on who that is.
Yeah.
And Eric says maybe barrel batches are a better value. So that's maybe an argument for a little bit later, but
I'm thinking finals.
but
best
sometimes like
Bookers
a
versus
comparison.
best barrels.
I'm just going to end up sending all of my barrels. I don't like this, but I'll send them to the Eds, not to TJ. I mean, but barrel is similar, right? Like some of their batches say 5 years. Does that deter somebody? Probably. Now, if you like bourbon, though, you're going to realize that that's the youngest bourbon in there,
Yeah.
and there's going to be some 15-year bourbon in there. Now, we don't know that with Booker's. I don't think they've disclosed that.
Right.
But my suspicion would be that there's some older age.
Yeah. So Bobby's got a good thing. He's never seen it below 120. What's the max you pay? So that's a hard one. So if we didn't have a YouTube channel, because I do want to caveat that very much, and my wife wasn't on board with liking Bookers, I would cap out at 100. 120 would be a hard pill to swallow. I don't know if I would do it because there's some good ones.
120's fair, but
apparently I'm being told 120.
that's my
fair.
opinion.
So that,
But you can
TJ
have
wouldn't
your
pay
own.
120 because he can get it for like $75 at Target.
yeah, that Target
Yes.
and Myers are wonderful. But I think that's where the controversy really comes in. Is to be fair, it's not just price; it's price to age is where it is, and so many people are used to it being in the $70 price range, and now it's up. But I think it's completely fair. The same argument can be made now for Henry McKenna. Henry McKenna, I remember it wasn't a year ago. It just sat at Kroger all day, every day for $30. I was like, I'm not getting to that one yet because, I know Fred Minnick said it was good, but I'm just going to wait and get around to it. And now you can't find it. And now when it is on the shelf, it's $60.
And it's raffle material in Indiana, literally, which is mind blowing to me.
So
and back to the price on Booker's, I'm paying whatever, and I'll give up buying everything else because that's my jam, and I'm going to put it on the vertical, and I'm going to buy it. So
I'm right there with you. I don't think price per bottle. I don't really care. I think here's my total bourbon budget. I'm going to buy what I like.
Right.
And that's going to be whatever turkey I can find. It's going to be Booker's. It's going to be Baker's.
And
if I go over my budget, okay, the stuff I just really don't like I'm not going to run out and rebuy a Four Roses small batch, which I don't like nearly as much. That's where I would save money.
That's where I'm living. I think, Chuck, if barrel went to 130 a bottle, you'd still be buying barrel batches.
Oh, reluctantly. Now you're into Bardstown Discovery pricing.
Right. So,
and I think there's a fair
and I buy
comment to be
those
said,
too, but
because I feel like it happens to this brand more than anything else.
Maybe because of the longevity.
People
is that part
always,
of the it's had a following since 1988? Do you think there's just a larger You know,
Yeah.
Bardstown Discovery came out at $130. Personally, the last Discovery, like I'd probably take Booker's over the last several Discovery batches.
Yeah.
And-
And let's throw in Blue Run. I would take it over a lot of the Blue Runs.
Exactly. So I think it's
Okay.
contextual. And so for me as maybe a newer to bourbon in the last 4 years, I don't see the gripe. And I also see just inflation in general. So it's like inputs are crazy.
And I think it goes back to what I was going with. And I see that living in Louisville and seeing the distilleries and everything like that. For some reason, Jim Beam always gets overlooked. Like you can go to Jim Beam first thing in the morning. There's not a line. There's never a line. You can go get a Booker's. You can go get a little book or something like that. People go there at the last minute. Four Roses, there's a line. There's a group. What does Four Roses have? Buffalo Trace. Freaking people get there before they open the gates. And then there is a 200 person line by the time they open every day. Heaven Hill, same thing. Yeah. All these places. But for some reason, Jim Beam always gets overlooked. And maybe it's because, and Chuck, you can talk about this. When you're traveling, what is always guaranteed to be there? Knob Creek.
Everywhere. Yeah.
So
I mean, and that's another argument that gets thrown out a bunch is, well, why would I spend $90 on a Booker's 6-7 year when I can go for $50, maybe 60, depending where you're at. I can get a single barrel proof Knob Creek for $60, and it's 9 years, sometimes 10 on store picks. I get that all the time. I'm like, I'm still buying Booker's. Okay. Yeah. I'm buying Booker's.
I'll say this, for all the people griping about the price, it certainly hasn't helped availability.
Yeah, that's fair. It hits, and then you got 3 weeks to get it, and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So here it's same day.
Oh wow!
It's a thing where they don't bother spacing out the shelf to put it on the shelf. It's like a little table next to the manager's office because it won't be there when they lock the door.
Yeah.
I'm with Paul 100%.
Yeah. Paul says disco priced out for me, which absolutely. Not worth the 140, 150. I'll stick with Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, which is amazing. That is a sleeper, though people are starting to figure that one out. So watch out.
We've been touting that for a while. So
yeah. Knob Creek picks, absolutely, especially if you can find some older ones. And then Elijah Craig barrel proof. That's my jam, but man, it's getting harder and harder to find that. Though I did find batch A, and I found batch A for $60, which been hitting. Yeah, it's been hitting at the $80 price range, and it was at Liquor Barn for $60. I was like, yes, please. Limit one, come on, let me have another. And they said no. So
I like how he threw in limit one, because otherwise I was going to give him a hard time about not giving me a call.
Yeah, and then Paul says, throw in Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C9 22 and Barrel 33 in a random. So I will tell you this, Paul, because I've seen you comment a ridiculous amount on our videos and everything like that. Email the channel and let me know, and we will set up another live stream or sample. We will do the winner of this, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and Barrel 33. We will get you those samples, and we will see what wins, and you might be able to prove us wrong. So we will see.
Maybe a good price discussion too. Maybe we throw in a Jack Daniel's single barrel in there, or a Knob Creek pick also out of the same distillery. So half the price most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2 years ago, when Lance did his bourbon of the year, Bardstown batch won it. So it was Booker's, and that's totally blind, totally random. 5 samples go out, and I think there was 7 people maybe, and 5 of the 7 picked Bardstown number 1. So
I think that year it came in second.
It was top 3.
Second or third.
It was top 3 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that thing it's a unicorn when it comes to Booker's. It is not your Booker's profile.
Yeah.
It's no big
But that's what makes the batches interesting, right? And that's true of
Right.
the barrel batches. That's true of Elijah Craig barrel proof. Obviously, there's some variation. I would probably argue
Not very
there's
much.
less variation in those than there are the Booker's batches and
Right.
barrel batches. So sometimes you got to buy it or wait. Of course, availability, you can't wait anymore because for reviews, because by the time you see a review, too late, it's gone.
Yep.
So you you have to buy it.
So if Jack Daniels came out in drops, like 2023 01 2 3 4, and then you could do the verticals, you could compare one versus another, would it sell better? Would it be more expensive? Would it get more YouTube time than every single barrel being a unicorn and there being no way to really compare easily?
It very well could turn into a Booker's situation. I know that they might not release them, batch numbers, but their proof is their proof varies from bottle. I mean, batch to batch, we'll call it. I mean, you get one that'll hit at 141, and you might get the next one. It might be 123.
Well, that's just from one barrel to another, but there are probably a couple of thousand of these out there.
Right.
And then Eric is hitting Mr. Bell right in the sweet spot, which says if stores aren't gouging, Russell's Reserve picks are great as well. And I will say, especially with the new label, they look sexy.
They look
new.
I'll say this: Campari came out with their financials for the year,
Yeah.
and if you read that, they talk a lot about the room for price increases, the premiumization. So look for Russell's prices to go up.
Oh yeah,
I like our finance guru here on the channel coming through with if you read the annual report
right
for
to
the
be
Campari
fair,
group today.
I've read that same report, thank you very much, and they discussed how on the secondary Russell's 13 was going for like 4 times the price, so what are they doing and everything like that. I was like, oh my. Mainly, I think it was Rarebird 101 that tweeted all of the actual analysis out, so I just read his snippets, but
hey,
he makes me sound smart.
You may think them Russells are sexy, but see that back there? Look at those boxes.
I mean, to be fair,
about the boxes today.
I'll have to make like a YouTube short of me making it old fashioned. I make it out of a Booker's box, and so then you open up that sleeve, and out comes the smoke.
Smoked old fashioned.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it looks amazing. So yeah,
got the smoking gun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to know what Heather thinks of her samples there. Let's.
Okay, you ready? I have some notes.
All right, let's go.
I mean, I still don't know what these are.
Nope. You just gotta say which one was your favorite.
Do you want me to go through them and then say which one was my favorite?
Yeah.
Or...
Go for it. 1, 2, and 3.
So the first one, I do think that's Booker's.
Okay.
Although it felt like a lower proof, so it made me doubt myself as to whether or not it was a Booker's or not. But the flavors felt familiar. So just like caramel, honey, allspice, kind of a finish of maple and spice. Really nice. I liked it. Don't tell me anything yet. Don't tell me anything yet. The second one, I'm also pretty sure was Booker's. And I feel like it's the one that I said was kind of like a lemon sweet tea, or you said it was what was it? Where you put the tea outside? Sun tea.
Sun tea.
Sun tea. I think it was that one. So sweet honey on the finish. That was kind of like a young hay note towards the end, which is interesting. But I still think that was Booker's. The third one I had, I think that's the trick one. I think that one was a finished product. It was darker and there was some like cocoa chocolate notes, which I never remember getting a chocolate note on a Booker's product. And there's also like prune and dried fruit notes in there. So I think it's finished. I think it might be an Armagnac finished thing. Or maybe rum. One of the two. Okay. So my least favorite was actually number 2, which was that sweet tea one. Then it was kind of close between the next two, but My favorite was number 1.
Okay.
And so then second came number 3 there.
Good. This is exactly what I wanted to happen.
Uh-oh.
All right. So number 1 was Booker's tag along.
Tag along.
That's
All
your
right.
favorite. I swear.
That's really good.
Number
Yeah.
It's
2
a good one.
That's
was Booker's
Is that what you're
Lumberyard.
drinking, Chuck?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have my the only 3 Bookers that I have poured.
You sure that was Lumberyard?
That was Lumberyard.
Because
Which
I didn't
one
get
was
any
Lumberyard?
maple notes on
Number
that
2, her
one.
least favorite.
Really?
I didn't get any of the
Which
same
one's
notes I normally do.
Lumberyard?
Okay. All right.
And number 3
What's it? What
Will
is
be
it? Some
sent-
finished thing?
in March to our Patreon members.
What is it?
That is the Bourbon and Beyond Peerless pick.
Oh, that one was a good one. See, it came in second.
Yeah.
Almost came in first, but
Yep. After how much you
Loyal
liked
to
it,
my
I was like,
Bookers.
oh, I got to put that in against the Bookers and see what happens.
it was very good, y'all. And we had to go get a second one
Yeah. Yeah.
after tasting it. Well, so it was one of those where I was shopping at Kroger and then I went to the liquor section. And so I'm like texting him a lot of pictures, like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And the Peerless was $72. And
That's really
normally for a single barrel pick, right?
Yeah.
It better be
Yeah.
at least 7 years old.
Normally a Peerless single
Does
barrel
Peerless
is
have
like
anything 7 years
over
old yet?
100.
6. 6 is their magic number.
But I likened it to the New Roof pick that y'all did because there's like smoky notes going on. It was definitely a roller coaster of flavors, it was just fun. It's really good.
Nice.
So yeah, like he said, gonna share that with you all.
So the
Nice.
tag along is the 2102 batch. Nice cork pop.
I know. It's really hard for that.
What are you
Wait.
drinking there?
Which one's tag along?
2102. 2021 number. It's the number 2.
What Burker's Bardstown? We did not have our backup open, and now it is officially
Now he's
opened
opening.
because
Oh,
of
you're into
Booker's
the
bracket
back.
time.
You're into the backup of the Bardstown.
Yeah, we killed the first one.
Sorry, I got a backup back there. I know Ed's got a backup to the backup. I'm sure.
I just love the fact, for the first time ever in the history of this channel, more samples are going to be sent to Chuck than anybody else because he's got nothing.
I
Right?
don't
So
have anything
after
to contribute.
this, we will be needing to do a barrel flight bracket with all of us also.
Yeah, for sure.
Where Chuck sends everything.
Oh my god.
I'll take care of 34. It should be here tomorrow.
Oh,
So, does
Um,
anyone want to pick what they think is going to be like a sleeper in the bracket?
no strangers. That's
Yeah.
my pick as the sleeper.
I would go with Beaten Biscuits.
Okay. I'm gonna go the barrel and boxed one.
Mm.
I don't
So
know,
that
TJ. That didn't fare well in our best of.
Actually, I'm gonna redact mine, and I'm going with
Well,
that.
if you're gonna redact, I'm gonna take the one that you redacted.
Do you
That's the
still have
sleep.
as the pigskin?
Bookers
in yours?
International.
Yes.
So that's what I would pick is pigskin.
Ooh,
All right.
That's been a while since we had it, but
Are you
that was
drinking-
my awakening.
Yeah, that was. The
I think
one
this
that
is-
taught us to go.
That's the one that did it.
pigskin.
I think this
Pigskin,
is going to be
yeah.
fun because you guys are all going to have your strong opinions, and then I think the power is going to lie with me to break ties.
So,
Yeah.
if we do the bracket,
I agree.
are we going to know
Probably true.
facing off?
Yeah, we'll know what's facing off. So the best way to do this is what we have to do sometimes, which is so pour them, and then or have your significant other pour them, and then that way you guys won't know. And then we'll get with you guys on dates that Chuck is not out of country doing CIA, NSA, murdering random people stuff. We're not supposed to talk about that on the channel. Anyway,
Oh wait, does he work with Derek?
no, Jack Ryan is actually
Not at liberty
filmed
to
about
say.
Chuck's life.
Oh,
We just aren't.
I
supposed
look
to
like
talk
John
about
Krasinski. It was a good cast, really.
it. Yeah.
You're saying he's the Tom Clancy of corn?
Yes. Corn is just a
Of
cover.
corn, yeah.
It always
It's a
starts
cover.
in a
It's a
cornfield.
it's a ruse. That friggin' corn thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not the Tom Clancy. He's just the writer, you know. It's I'm the Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get with you guys on everything and get you guys to come in on some of the filmings and everything like that, so we can figure all this out. And then, yeah, we'll schedule all that behind the scenes on text. So let's actually bracket
Spin
these
the
guys.
wheel.
I'm gonna make Chuck record it, since I'm gonna hit the clicky click button a bunch, and I won't be able to see as much.
So this is just starting at number 1.
Yes. So we'll just go right down the list. All right. So the first one is.
So is this
Number
the
one.
number one?
Seeds.
Is this
One-
the number
number
one
one
overall seed?
Oh.
Oh.
1A2204.
All right.
Oh. Which?
And then I can just remove it. There we go. Look at that. It works out so well.
That's like when North Carolina gets the number 1 seed. Like, nah,
Right.
they ain't winning
Right.
it.
Oh, it's coming again. Oh.
Oh my! What are the chances here?
20.
03. All right.
Is that 02?
No, it's a 2022 03.
Barrel and boxed.
Yep.
Barrel and box.
Preference for these 2022s. What's going on here?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Which
It said it was random and couldn't
No,
be
it
ranked.
removed it. I see what's happening.
oh my!
Well, we're just going we should just put it right down the list.
Yeah, just gone in order.
I mean,
But every time that international is just I want to, but not quite.
Mhm.
There we go.
now, all right.
Okay.
There we go. Which I'd have to say that is my least favorite bookers that I have.
Okay.
Mm.
The 20
Well, what's the
2002.
name?
What's that?
What's the
We don't
nickname?
have any 2020.
That's the Boston batch.
We have 03. That's your pigskin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you write that down?
As a Yankees fan, not liking Boston comes natural.
No.
Boston.
All right.
Oh.
01.
Okay. There's the tag along.
Yep.
That's the 7 seed. It's going to be an upset, folks.
All right. 2021-03. I'm gonna laugh if international is the last place seed going against first place seed.
Well, that would be a 16 beating a 1.
Yeah.
right. Is that kitchen table?
2017-03.
Or is that the one you had?
That's ours.
How did
That
you get a
is front porch.
1703?
I don't know. I walked into a liquor store and they said, "Hey, would you want this?" And I was like, "Yes." And they're like, "All right, $65." I said, "Thank you very much."
Thank you
Bye.
very much. I'll have another, please.
And we're just getting rid of inventory. It's probably Republic. And it was just like, we had this in the book.
Yep.
All right, 2020-01.
That international is going to be the 16. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it's going to be the 16.
2020-03. All right, 2019-04.
Oh, that's great.
2022-01. Oh. Nope. All right, here we go. $50-50 shot. Oh.
Oh,
All right. International, and then finally 2021-04.
One last spin.
Hey,
Why not?
There we go.
Yay.
so they're ranked.
That was me at the Pappy raffle this year. Thanks for coming out.
No luck for you.
Yep.
Happy raffle and the birthday raffle, and
Yeah.
the
Pretty
list
much.
goes on.
Then I had to work today, and Old Forester released a new 117 series today, and I was like, oh well. It was like 92 proof. I was like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. So we have our rankings. Be looking for the videos coming out March, sometime around there. We will definitely do 2 a week, which means I will be very, very busy because Chuck spends time looking pretty, and that's about it. And then I have to do all the actual work, keep this relationship going and everything like that. But we will get this out. Hopefully you enjoy the brackets and everything like that. I know we do. It's really the best way to truly see how good something is, because when you do it blind, it's way more fun. Things surprise you. If you haven't watched the celebrity bracket, things surprise you. Just saying. So,
Despite other than TJ's choices for the celebrity bracket, other things surprise you as well.
Right.
yes, I still have to go buy a bottle that I didn't think I would ever be buying. Now I need to go buy a bottle. It'll be coming out. Be surprised. Enjoy.
It's a good tease.
Mm-hmm. So
He's
yeah,
also a fan of Vampire Diaries.
Oh,
Chuck is a very big fan. So if you guys out there know them,
Wait, can we edit this out?
nope, it's live. That's the best part. Yeah, Chuck wants autographs. Some
Nice.
cuddly time.
well, it was 2 or 3 trips ago when I was going out to California.
Nope, don't spoil the story. Chuck did a very good rendition of it.
Oh, he did. All right.
He gave your daughter a shout out.
Nice. All right, I'll wait for it. I'm no more.
I think that's the one that comes. Yeah, that's the one that comes out Thursday. So you don't have to wait long.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So yeah,
That's perfect.
it'll be good. So yeah, anything else we got tonight, gentlemen?
I have a list of Booker's trivia. We gave away some of it.
Okay.
I do
TJ,
have
do
to. I'm drinking the 20,
Oh yeah, what was your? You had a
drinking-
flight, right?
2204, and the what is that? The last one of this year.
Mm-hmm.
If you like cinnamon rolls with caramel apple on the cinnamon roll, drink this.
I
Please.
remember that.
Which one's that, Ed?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the 2204.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. It's ridiculous. Oh,
Mhm.
wow. And it is dangerous because there's no Booker's burn on this thing.
No, it's
No.
it's super low proof. I mean, it's high proof, but it tastes low proof, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
Drinks easy.
apples and cinnamon and
Just
deliciousness.
Just
For
bad.
me, though, it kind of lacks that, like what I think of like that classic Booker's bite.
It does, and that's what makes it scary that you can just hammer 120 proof bourbon. And yeah, I mean, so yeah,
So what all did you have in your flight, Ed?
I had the 2104, 2204, 2201, and the 2103. So I had no strangers, whatever that freaking thing is, that badge. I can't freaking read
That's
it.
got to get his reading
It's a
glasses.
fourth of something. 2021-04.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Hey,
20.
Bourbon,
the-
thanks for joining. We appreciate it, man. We definitely need to get together to do something sometime. So hit us up. We'd like to. We send some samples. Have a fun time. Just let us know.
I think on the last live stream, we tasted 2022-04, and
Mhm.
Hannah came running downstairs
Yeah.
to taste it.
I do
Yeah.
think I remember being like, "Oh, Hannah would like this. I
Pink,
taste a lot of cinnamon.
yes,
Yeah.
Pinky's batch is what it's called.
Oh yeah.
And then Granny's batch, and then Bardstown.
Mhm.
My favorite is still out of that is still Granny's because, and you can ask Lance and Ben and everybody if it's got dusty peanut forward, that's my jam. I'm picking that every time.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And that one has, and that one does have that classic Booker's. It'll grab you by the tongue and throw you around a little bit, and then it.
This is going to be really
that's
fun, guys. I'm looking forward to
exactly
this because
how-
it's like, what are you looking for? Like when you choose what's better? Like,
Yeah.
so Ed has his, what he classically think of. You got to have that dusty peanut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that that's like Heather's jam. So it's like, I don't know what she didn't even enter tasting notes tonight. Now, 2 of them were Bookers, but
I know there
didn't
was
even
no
mention,
I
didn't mention
I
nuttiness
honestly
once.
didn't
Nope.
get peanut on any of them.
not even on the nose.
Well, I mean, there was just no.
wow.
But I mean, so again, Booker's really doesn't have much of a nose, which I still think that's why Charlie doesn't really like them. Is because it doesn't have a
that's why it
nose, and
finished
you like to have a nose.
third instead of first. Otherwise, the palate and the finish were.
Yeah, it does. Like
Heather, have you had
it's about that complexity for me. So it's like if you have a single note, I'm not gonna like it. You gotta have multiple notes that just keeps going. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Heather, have you had pigskin?
Yeah,
That was the one.
that's
that
the
got us off
one that I am gonna say is the sleeper.
That has, maybe it's simple and just a couple of notes, but the nose on that one is wonderful.
That does have a good nose. I do remember pigskin. The nose on that one is, and that's why that Boston batch is just, it's one note. It's flat. It's like it just doesn't do. But we'll see how it does in the tournament. You never know.
Could we all put aside price and age statements and focus on what's really wrong with Bookers? The name of the batch is in black font on a dark background, and it's always at an angle. And
That is exactly.
So it's
how
the
I do-
marketing.
like the
That's-
magnifier.
So
That's how
the
I do my
graphics,
thumbnails for YouTube. What are you saying, Ed? What is wrong with that?
graphics and marketing.
Yeah. I will ask the graphic design guru who's right upstairs what she thinks of the book. She loves the box. She thinks the box is brilliant. But these little freaking you can't read anything on this.
Yeah.
You can't read
It is the tiniest font.
God.
I
And
will
the-
say why.
and-
While I
and-
love the boxes, like what do I do with all those boxes? I wish it would be like Crown Royal bags, like a Booker's like velvet bag. That I think would be amazing.
Yeah.
What would you do with the bag
I don't-
afterwards?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm with
Like
you,
a-
Heather. No,
When
that's terrible.
COVID
Like,
Same
3.0
thing.
comes over, I can make masks. I don't know.
I store,
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Ed.
I store backup corks in a couple of my Booker's boxes because
There
you're
you
going to lose a cork for something eventually, and I have a
Mhm.
deep stash I can go to find a cork for probably almost anything at this point.
it was actually TJ and Heather's international bookers.
Yeah.
We needed a backup cork.
Oh, there he is. The man finally showed up.
Oh,
Whoa.
Whiskey himself.
well, of course we are. We're drinking this, Lance.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's have the trivia, Chuck.
Oh, okay. So how do we want TJ? You giving away samples to the winner of the trivia?
Yeah. Barrel batch. What's behind you?
You just
I thought
said
he was
you got
making a crown.
34.
Yeah.
Making a crown.
Well, he has all the 4 rows.
Oh, is it for the channel or is it for the people in the chat?
I don't care.
Mm.
Whoever answers them most correct.
Okay.
Everybody's in, right?
So some of these we already talked about,
All right.
which makes it more of like a were you listening and paying attention?
No.
He's out.
So
TJ's out.
yeah, exactly.
Heather, have you tried pigskin?
I feel like there's more to unpack there with that comment, but this isn't a marriage counseling channel, so
We don't have
we'll
enough
just
time
glaze
on it.
over that.
Right.
So how many generations of distillers are there now at Jim Beam? Oh, not everybody chime in at once.
I'm out. I was told.
3.
So not alive. So like what is the current 9? No, nobody's got
not
that answer.
alive?
Anybody in the chat?
7.
Bingo. Heather wins. Yeah, so they're on. So Freddie No is the 7th generation distiller, who is the grandson of Booker.
Yep.
The first year that Booker's was released commercially.
82. 88.
88. Yep. There you go, Ed.
Yeah, Charlie told us that earlier, right?
I don't listen.
Yep. So I think Ed, you shared the story that maybe like he started giving it to family and friends in 82, but
Something-
88
yeah,
was the first official release.
Okay.
These are terms that are very commonplace and probably need to be on most bottles if you're going to sell things in today's bourbon market. But they're words that you always find on a Booker's bottle. What are they?
Barrel strength, cask strength.
Like, look at the bottle.
Actually, I
What
shouldn't
does
say
it
if it's actually or
Age.
if it's
Age. Alcohol by volume.
actually, I don't even know if it's actually on the bottle, so I shouldn't have said that. But I was looking for uncut and unfiltered.
Oh, Bourbon Bar got it.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Who had it?
Bourbon Bar.
The
Bourbon Bar.
Oh, all right.
The proof ranges from what to what?
120 to low 140s.
122 to 130.
Ooh, Ed's really close. Any other guesses?
I said 130. 132.
This one says
Did you-
1.5.
121 to 130.6.
Oh,
130.
I've never seen a Booker's over 129.
That's
But-
what the internet said.
That's because the font's
Well,
really.
the internet's never wrong.
That's 'cause of the
It's
font,
Pine
yeah.
Tree Octopus.
Internet is undefeated.
Right.
Whereas my
But
daughter
like
would say
Ed said, that's
Albatross.
because the font is really small and I can't read it. So of course.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Oh, this one. Is it foolproof?
No.
Yeah.
Is it full? Yes.
It is. They
Yes.
don't actually
Yeah.
call it foolproof, but it goes in the barrel at 125, which makes it
Oh.
foolproof.
But if it's coming out at like the 130, then it's not foolproof.
Right. If we're defining foolproof as 125, it's not.
Exactly.
But
Only ones that are
I
125.
I think. Well, Weller foolproof doesn't. Is that 125?
That's
Yeah,
only
they
as long as
proof
it's
it
going-
down to what it was when they put it in the barrel. That's what. Yeah.
Fair enough.
they do.
I should have rephrased what was. Maybe I should have just asked what entry proof was.
So I would like to hold on, time out. On
It is barrel strength.
February 21st at 9:29 and 32 seconds, TJ was right and Chuck was wrong. Please document this time. The end of the
This
world will
does happen.
then commence in 5 days. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh,
This is what I try to get for trying to trick you, coming up with clever ones, and I was wrong. So we talked about age statements, but generally, what is the age range for Bookers?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
6 to 8. Yep.
Does anybody know the mash bill?
75.
Wrong.
60.
Wrong.
No?
50.
Wrong.
80.
80.
Wrong.
It's that weird. One of them has
70.
like a 0.5.
Oop,
Did you say 70?
70.
It's getting warmer. Nope.
5, 3, 2, 7, 8,
6,
78,
78.
77.
77?
Obviously,
There you go. Okay.
Off camera,
77.
just
So we have the
mentioning
corn.
shit, Ed.
Oh,
77 corn.
that's funny. That's funny right there. Okay. That's really. Read what he said in the chat.
What was
Ed just needs to read a shirt for the quiz answers.
Look what it says right there.
Yeah.
It says
Just needs to look
untouchable
down.
right there.
Didn't even notice.
Oh man, I wish I knew this one.
It's like my students. I don't understand the answer. Did you look at the sheet that like said the answer? No. Why would I do with that? What?
77 20.
Paul's got it.
Oh,
Paul in the chat. 13-10.
13-10 what?
77, 13, 10.
10.
Is that the generic Jim Beam or the specific to Booker's?
It's specific to Booker. Well, I shouldn't say. I
Well,
don't know if it's
after our
specific,
tour,
but that is the mash bill
it's
for Bookers.
generic.
Mhm.
They only had 2 mash bills, I think.
Yeah.
Right, but the proof off the still and the proof in the barrel vary by product at Beam.
but is
Yes.
I think it was Breaking Bourbon who has all that listed out somewhere.
is Booker's the same mash bill as Basil, Knob Creek, and Jim Beam?
I would say
Because
don't
Baker's
think
is
Basil
different.
Hayden was a higher rye mash bill.
Okay.
So where I need that stupid Fred Minnick book that's upstairs that has everything and says what all the mash
Does that
bills
one
are.
have it?
No, my whiskey Bible does not.
So Knob Creek is 75, 12, 13. So no. And I think
When we went for the tour, the 2 still lines was Knob
Mm-hmm.
and then Basil Hayden.
So yeah, so
Okay.
Jim
But
Beam
like
has,
like other things were there and other things were there.
yeah, so Jim Beam
Because-
has 2 different mash bills. One that's a low rye of 13 and one that's a high rye of 27.
yeah, that's the Basil Hayden is the high rye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was our tour
63,
guide,
27, 10.
I do remember that.
So maybe the
Heather, if you remember, our tour guide was on his first day.
That's true.
He's supposed to know everything if he's been released by himself.
Well, he actually wasn't.
Eric Jensen, I do not like you. I don't know who you are, but no, the answer is not Chuck is never wrong. That does not help anyone. He is going to be married soon. He needs to
You're welcome
learn.
back anytime,
Is that
Eric.
person
We'll
is
get
that
you more
person
samples.
related to Hannah?
I know exactly who that is. He's in a Discord with me, and I know him.
Oh.
He's a Patreon. We appreciate you, Eric.
Fair enough. You're a Patreon. You can say whatever you want. That's fine.
That's right.
Especially if you're making fun of TJ.
So, all right. So,
Oh, that's about all I got, I think.
yeah.
Sorry.
So I
That was
definitely
my
owe
liquor story.
Bourbon Bar something.
Yep.
Make sure you hit us up in email.
Oh, this is
And then-
sorry. This was an interesting tidbit. So supposedly, Booker was credited with coining the term small batch in the 90s. I don't know whether that's
Interesting.
true or not.
Yeah, which by the way,
Can't be
small
verified.
batch means nothing. Just
Right.
for all you people out there,
It's
it's
smaller than what they use for
I mean-
other batches.
Yeah,
I
it
think
gets
it makes sense
small.
because all of this came out of the area where you had Blanton's and Kentucky Spirit, these single barrels, and he hated single barrels and just wouldn't do it. So he had to come up with something
Yeah.
to go against that. And the small batch collection, right? The Basil Hayden, Bob Creek,
Mhm.
Baker's. Originally, it was small batch, and Booker's was his answer to that.
yeah.
In a time when it was unpopular to have high proof, uncut,
Mm-hmm.
unfiltered bourbon. So
Mhm.
cheers to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for watching. Tune in here in March for this bracket. Paul P, make sure you hit me up on email
Email.
so we can get you set up and everything like that. And Bourbon Bar, you too. Also, we'll get you something. But I'd really like to hook you up and we'll do a live with you too. That'd be a lot of fun. Other than that, yeah, thanks for watching. It's always fun. While it may be controversial, we have fallen in love with Booker's and we'll continue to buy it. I mean, I'm already
Yes.
out searching for the new batch for this
Right.
year.
Well, don't you just have to go to Target?
Yeah,
Yes.
basically. Which I think that goes into like if you watch any of the Instagram channels or anything about how your wives always go to Target and people are upset. I'm happy when my
Yeah,
wife
well,
goes to Target.
Exactly. Exactly.
Occasionally come home with a nice present.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just
And-
saying, like, don't TJ, you're not fooling anybody. You have to go get your or your Joanna Gaines candle and your Booker's at the same
Your
time.
Magnolia Farms or whatever.
I'm gonna go buy that
crap
castle,
is.
son. It'll be
Jeez.
my bourbon castle.
Around all that Texas whiskey
No,
down
you
there.
No,
When,
but they do got the Wellers.
There you go.
The Wellers.
when we were down for the barrel pick, funniest vision I've ever seen is I'm in the pharmacy area aisle and I turn around and here come Ed and TJ like this with boxes of freaking Bookers. I'm like, only in freaking Kentucky are you gonna see people with bourbon underarm in Target.
The worst thing ever was when I went Sunday morning and I was like, they got it. And then I was like, walked
Not till
up to
1
the
o'clock.
checkout and they're like, you can't buy this till 1. I'm like,
Oh,
what? Are you kidding? They're like, no, seriously. I'm like, I guess I'm coming back at 1. I'll see you then. Can you hold this behind the counter? No, nobody buys bourbon here. I'm like, okay.
As he
TJ
hides
camps
it-
out in
hides
the
it
sporting
shelf.
goods,
There
rides
we go.
around the
Stuffs
store
it
like
into
little
the
kids'
squishies.
bikes.
I went and put it behind the Swiffer wet jet aisle because we know no guy's going to go over there. We're good.
Nobody's going over there.
So-
You know where the ideal place to stuff it is? Just saying. That one aisle that guys don't like to go down.
There you go.
Right.
I
By the
mean,
tampons? Is that what you're trying to say?
No!
That's what he's trying to
Jeez,
say.
the motor
Is that where you're
oil.
going?
No guy goes down the motor oil aisle. Come on, Heather. Oh,
I
that's
mean, with
better.
that, how do we end it? So,
Well, there it
thank
is.
you. We appreciate it. The good news is, I'm pretty sure for the finals here, we will do another live stream. Absolutely, assuming Chuck isn't, I don't know, doing CIA stuff in Uruguay.
I was going to say Guatemala. Does he
Bosnia.
go to Guatemala? I don't
Pretty
know.
sure he has to go with the president to Ukraine again. I don't
Yeah, it's
know.
all-
Poland. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
They
crazy
grow
stuff.
corn in Poland. Sure.
But the good news is Brian will be here for that, and I wouldn't
Grow
want
corn.
him to come back without the 2 Eds to just rag on him hard. So we will make sure that happens. But yeah, so we will struggle and we will do the sacrifice and taste these bottles of Booker's against each other and try to figure out what the best Booker's is. If you have another bracket idea that you want us to do, we will also sacrifice and do that, but just let us know. So with that, cheers, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining. Stay neat.
Power bourbon.